Hey class, today we're going to work on matching arrays. The idea behind this lesson is that we take one big array that we might not be sure of and use two smaller arrays that we know that could help us solve the bigger equation. So the first thing we're going to do is complete the multiplication equation illustrated by each set of arrays. You're going to work on problems that look something like this. At the bottom you see I have an equation here, 6 times 6 equals something times 6 plus something else times 6. So if you look here in the middle, on top of the yellow paper, I have three different arrays. The first one is the big array, 6 times 6. Now if I haven't memorized my multiplication facts yet, I'll use the 6 times 6 and break it into two smaller arrays that will help me solve it more easily. So I'm going to start with 5 times 6 and 1 times 6. I started with 5 times 6 because it's one of those easy breezy, beautiful, easy numbers that we usually break apart. Remember we talk about them, the 2's, the 5's, the 10's. So I'll start with my 5, get a big chunk of that 6 out of the way. And then I'll use 1 times 6 because I know if I have 5 groups of 6, I'm only lacking 1 group of 6. So if you see here, I can actually put the 5 times 6 on top of my 6 times 6. And then again, my 1 times 6 at the bottom here. And they perfectly cover up my 6 times 6, showing me that 5 times 6 plus 1 times 6 is in fact the same thing as just saying 6 times 6 to begin with. So if I was going to complete my equation, it would say 6 times 6 equals 5 times 6 plus 1 times 6.
It's my turn, Mr. Lashman. I'm going to try one just like it, except that my array is 7 by 7 is my big array. When I take a look at it, I realize again that this is not a known fact for me. I'm going to use what I know. Of course, just like you said, we're going to use our super numbers, the 2, the 5, or the 10. So I'm going to start with 5 by 7. And I know that 5 plus 2 is going to give me 7, so I'm going to use another 2 by 7. I want to make sure they add up or they match up. And yes, they do. So I had my 7 by 7 for my big array. I'm going to put my 5 by 7 on this one and the 2 by 7 on this one. So what this is telling me is that 7 by 7 is also equal to 5 by 7 and another 2 by 7.